He tries to stem the tide of blood that won't stop pouring out of him. The boy didn't know that there was that much blood inside of him. He knew he would run out soon. He was terrified. Bang! On a gurney, lots of people yelling. He bites somebody's hand. A sharp pinprick in his arm. Where is she? Bang! Another priest. He's saying the same unintelligible words as the first. Months in a hospital, pain, like an 8-year-old should never know exists in this world. Parades of doctors, first for his ruined body, the second for his damaged mind. He has an anger management problem, they say. Anger management. It's a nice term for people who can afford it. Psychologists in $200 sweaters and condescending smiles tell him, you need to let it go. Think about the rest of your life. Think about how lucky you are. The world is a beautiful place. The world is not a beautiful place. Not to the boy, who's going to need 2 more operations before he can piss without a tube and spigot. They ask him why he's such an angry person. What he's so angry at. Think about how lucky you are. Chapter 1. I can't tolerate a bully, even when my job is to be the biggest swinging dick on the block. Somebody in the booking office for the cellar thought that an all-ages punk show on the weekend was a bright idea. Maybe it was. Nobody owned up to having the idea, though. The place was crowded, high school kids with rainbow-tinted hairdos making up most of the audience. The rest were uncomfortable-looking parents watching their babies perform in bands with names like Mazel Tov Cocktail and No Fat Chicks. As far as crowds go, they were a nice break from the normal regiment of scumbags, skinheads, punks, frat boys, musicians, and wannabes that we had to deal with. Odds were pretty good we wouldn't be involved in any brawls or dragging overdoses out of the bathroom. All things considered, it should have been a cakewalk day. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Me and Junior handled the shift ourselves, me watching the door while Junior patrolled the 3 floors of the club. Between the 2 of us, we could easily police a few dozen skinny tweens. We were less bouncers than babysitters with a combined weight of 470 pounds, mostly mine, and about 10 grand in tattoos, mostly Junior's. Every parent's dream. We'd only been open an hour, and we'd already confiscated 17 bottles of beer, 2 bottles of vodka, 1 of rum, 3 joints, and 7 airplane bottles of tequila. The way it was going, Junior and I would be able to stock our own bars by nightfall. A collective groan floated out from inside the bar as the 9th inning closed at Fenway. I poked my head in to check the score. 9-3 Yankees. And it just had to be the fucking Yankees. As I poked my head back out, the first fat droplets of rain spattered on my shoes, as if the angels themselves wept for the poor socks. I backed under the cellar's fluorescent sign, but the wind zigzagged the drizzle all over me. At least I was a better place than Junior. The basement didn't have any ventilation, and crowds produced furnace-level temperatures. A hot wind would gust up the stairs, and the club got crowded, feeling and smelling like Satan farting on your back. If I was hot outside, Junior must have been miserable. The first wave of baseball fans wandered into Kenmore Square. I could hear chants of Yankees suck approaching from the Fenway area. 2 guys broke off from the herd, stumbling in the bar's direction. The bigger guy wore an old Yastrzemski jersey and a mullet that would have embarrassed Billy Ray Cyrus in 1994. His buddy wore a backwoods old-school Patriots hat and a muff diving instructor T-shirt. Really? Really? Asshats. I recognized their tribe immediately, the type of townies who will go to their graves believing they could do a better job than the pros did. If only they hadn't knocked up Mary Lou Dropdraw's senior year. Those guys. Mullet looked over, his eyes wide as he saw the crew of punk kids in front of the cellar. His smile was filled with a bully's joy. He grabbed Buddy's collar and pointed his attention towards the kids. Nice hairdo, the townie called out to the kids milling outside. What are you, some kind of faggot? I closed my eyes and sighed. Away we go. Buddy laughed with a mocking hilarity, pointing a finger and looking to the rest of the crowd for an approval he wasn't getting. The skinny kid, head shaved close and dyed in a leopard skin pattern, turned. Why, you looking for some ass, sailor? The kid yelled back, smacking his bony behind for emphasis. He got some approving chuckles from the passerby and hoots of laughter from the other kids. Buddy looked pissed off that the kid got the laughs from the crowd that he hadn't. What did you say to me, bitch? Said Mullet, quick-stepping towards the bar. The kid flipped the guy off with both hands and ran back into the club. When Mullet got a couple of feet from the entrance, I stepped halfway across the doorway. He stopped short, and we stood there, shoulder to shoulder. "What's your problem?" Mullet asked, puffing out his chest. "No problem," I said, blowing cigarette smoke out my nose, moving my face closer to his. "Just not happening for you here. Not today. I want to get a beer." His breath